Hey guys, this is my sociology movie. I got my three different people. One is a senior, one is a middle age, and then one is a teenager. They're all good. I just learned how to do it. It's late. Hope you enjoy it. What is the most important political issue to you?
I think the most far-reaching is world peace.
I think abortion, yeah.
Trying to get health care for everyone.
What are your views on getting health care for everyone?
Well, I believe that we live in a country that should take care of all Americans, and they should all have a chance to be seen by doctors and taken care of.
Most people think an infant in the womb isn't a baby. Personally, I think it is. In some countries, it is a person. They consider they're like part of their year of life. So I think it is, and if you do get pregnant, you should have the intention of having a baby and getting rid of it.
What do you think should be done about our national debt?
Well, as I said, I think we should pay it.
I don't know.
I think the national debt, depending upon whose economist you listen to some is an obligation, and to others is a way of doing business. I feel like it's an obligation, and we should address it responsibly, so that we don't pass on to our children and our children's children the burden of that obligation that we've created for ourselves.
I think our national debt is too high. I think we should lower it, pay it off. I don't think we should be spending money that we don't have.
Alright, what are your views on immigration laws?
Immigration laws.
I think they should be strict. I think that they allow too many people into our country, and they don't know a lot about their backgrounds.
Okay.
Well, I believe the immigration laws that we have are adequate. I believe two things. One, we should enforce those laws responsibly. That is, to control our borders. I don't mean to shut our borders, but to control our borders and the circumstances under which people are permitted to come into this country. But I also believe that we should recognize that we are predominantly a nation of immigrants, and for us to assume that others cannot have what we enjoy is very selfish. And so I believe that not only should we enforce the laws we have, but that we should provide an expeditious way for people who meet the law and really want to be contributing citizens of this country should have the opportunity. And so it shouldn't take a person 10 or 15 years to become a citizen.
Country, but it somewhat is kind of almost like helping our country, because if all the immigrants will get out and stuff, the price of the product would be higher, not cheaper. So thinking like that, yeah, I think if they are in this country, they should at least have a green card or apply for citizenship.
What are women's roles in a marriage?
Marriage?
Yeah, in a marriage.
I would say I think the women should be respectful of their husbands, to be their helpmate. I think in return that the husband should as well be respectful, and I think that's a woman's role.
I believe a woman's role in marriage is to be a partner. Both the woman and the man in a marriage, and I do believe marriage is of a man and a woman, that she is an equal partner and a contributor to that marriage. There are some things that women physiologically are uniquely equipped to do, such as bear children. But it is not something that they are expected to do by themselves, nor should they, or raising children. And so my wife and I have been married 44 years, and it would be difficult to divide and say this is her job and that's my job. Marriage is our job.
I think the role of a woman should be, she should have her word in every discussion, and she should have an output of the action of what they're gonna do.
Yeah. Equal rights.
Equal rights, and it has and it's to be supportive, and the husband should be supportive of the wife too.
What do you expect of your employer?
I expect to be treated fairly.
I expect my employer to be fair. I expect my employer to treat me with honesty and integrity. I believe my employer should expect the same from me, and that relationship should be a contributing relationship on both of our parts. You know, there should not be a give on one side and a take on the other. We should both contribute to the strength of that relationship.
How would you help solve the problem of gun violence?
People should have the right to bear arms, but then we have people that are using them illegally, so that, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's in the Constitution that we can bear arms, but that's for protection, so the gun violence is, we need to watch what are we doing, and we have to be careful. And I think the country is taking necessary precautions to limit those violence, but it's between our judgment and our conscience to say if it's bad or good.
Well, I'm a gun owner advocate. I own guns and I enjoy using hunting weapons, and I believe that people should have the right to own weapons as long as they use them responsibly. Gun violence is kind of a misnomer, because it is not the gun that's violent, it's the person that owns it. And so part of the answer is, I think we need to do a better job about teaching responsibility and respect for others. So we can destroy all the guns, and we won't do away with the violence, because the violence doesn't come from the gun, it comes from the owner.
If you were president, what is the first thing you would do?
Let's see. I would have to say universal health care.
Probably the first grade is the abortion. I think if girls are gonna have the baby, then we should keep it. But first, I think I should, like, if I was president right now in this comedy, probably help our economy out of this recession.
Yes.
If I were president, the first thing I would do would be to gather around me a team of advisors that really had a grasp of the needs of our nation, and a solution to many of the very real problems that we face. The one thing I would not do is assume that since I was clever enough to be elected president, that I'd be smart enough to solve all the problems by myself. So I would look to find people who could help me address those problems, both foreign and domestic.
What are your views on stem cell research?
Stem cell research?
Yeah.
I don't know too much about it, so.
It is like when an embryo is made. Some people research how they grow by taking it, and if you consider it life at the very first when it's a thing.
So, I really don't have a lot of. I don't have a lot of feelings about that.
I think it's gonna help us in the long. It's gonna help us and for humankind, and it's gonna help us. I think it's good, but if it's gonna not gonna help us, and it's gonna just tear us down, I don't think it's right. But I think it's gonna help us, and it's gonna help our technology to get better. Because if we want something, we will try to find a way to do it.
Well, I believe within certain limits and within certain responsibilities, that stem cell research is just that. It is a search, and I believe that as long as we don't allow ourselves to sacrifice life in the name of saving life, that it's important research, and we may well discover some very important answers out of that research. We've, I'm not in favor of sacrificing a life to save another life. I don't think that's good social policy, let alone good morality. But I believe certainly we can't turn our back on the knowledge and the science that God has given us and allowed us to develop.
Do you think the economy will be better in 10 years?
Well, the economy is a very subjective thing. If I have a job and a good income and I own my home, then the economy's good. If I've lost my job or I'm having to live hand to mouth every month, then the economy's bad. And so there are some people who would say the economy is very bad right now, and others would say, no, the economy is very good. What it will be in 10 years for me is I'll be 74 years old. And so I'll be probably retired, and I would expect the economy as a whole, frankly, because of our national debt and some other issues now, I don't expect our economy to be as viable as it has been in the last 20 years, but I hope I'm wrong.
Honestly,
I actually think it will be better. I think we'll have a lot of seniors that are going to be retiring, and they're going to be enjoying life, and there'll be plenty of work for us.
the economy is going to get worse and worse.
Hey, it's me. I hope you enjoyed the video. This is Buck. He wanted to say goodbye to. He was pretty annoying here. Yeah, here's a clip of him during the interview of my second interview.
This is Buck. Bucky, Buck.
And I hope you enjoyed it. It was a really, really fun experience. Thank you, Mrs. Wood.